Here. What's up, guys? Happy Friday, May 16th, 2025. There's a lot of baseball, a lot of it tonight and today. Actually, some of it is earlier now, apparently. Yeah, this game, Guardians and Reds, going a little bit earlier now due to inclement weather. Speaking of weather, open up the weather report to see whether or not we have to worry about weather from the Department of Redundancy Department. So let's see. Cool. Philly orange. Man, they did all this for rivalry weekend, which is already kind of weird for the Pirates and Phillies. And that game might not play anyway, huh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Hope everyone's doing all right out there. Let's get tabs open. All right. So today, we're gonna go game by game here with a couple of motives. We're gonna try to pull together one of those Flex Friday. I messed up last week. But on Flex Friday, you should always max bet it. It's only $20. I only did a $5 max bet or $5 flex bet, and then I saw the max was 20. I was like, why wouldn't I just do 20? I'm an idiot. So today we're trying to build out $20 PrizePicks Flex Friday COD. While researching the slate for DK and Fanduel purposes, and adjusting the projections in the MLBgrind.com premium spreadsheet. Let's open up the DraftKings Sportsbook as well. MLB. Got this ghost going. It is getting hot here in Texas. Too hot, too early, too soon. So I am ready to redo my house so we can get better air conditioning. All right, game number one, Guardians and the Reds. We do have lineups for this one already, and we do know it's going to start a little bit earlier. Nolan Jones batting second for the Guardians. You're playing this two-gamer. They moved up the lock time, obviously. Also, if you're attacking props, looks pretty good. Go grab some homers from guys you normally wouldn't get homers from. Both lineups confirmed. So it's gonna rain, but I don't think we're getting any positive weather, right, from Mr. Roth, as far as like wind's in from right. So we'll just leave it as neutral. But when we first did out the bomb detector, there was a lot from this game being represented in the top. You don't have to go far before you get to a Manzardo, Ellie, Carlos Santana, J-Ram. Like, the top 10 is littered with this game. So I'm ready to take this game out because of that. But Brady Singer allowing a lot of power to lefties, and so far this season, his 50% ground ball rate to lefties has sharply declined by 20% in lieu of more fly balls and higher hard contact. So as you might expect, that's resulting in more homers in a park that is one of the best parks for homers, especially for left-handed bats. So they are chock full of people batting in the left batter's box on the Guardians roster, just one righty. So a lot of potential power from guys you don't normally attack for power. As a matter of fact, Carlos Santana, one of them, he was top 6 in the bomb detector. He's actually the the third highest ranked Guardian behind Manzardo and J-Ram, and you're not getting a good deal on these guys from the books. Matter of fact, you're paying taxes for J-Ram and Manzardo, but Ellie De La Cruz, Carlos Santana, they're pretty appropriately priced, I think. And then Will Benson and TJ Friedel. Will Benson was number 2 on the Bond Detector yesterday and homered. I hate getting behind people that are bottom in the order of the home team, but we get it, right? This is a good park for that. Tanner Bybee, Jesus. Elevated home runs allowed to lefties since the beginning of last year, and that problem can be exacerbated, magnified, amplified, whatever fancy word you want to use in this park. And he's also diminished his strikeouts to lefties, 26% last year, all the way down to 16% this year. So you get into some of these guys like a Will Benson, who has a really high K rate overall, and you might be able to neutralize that down a little bit to give him a better puncher's chance here. So grades out well, but again, like I said, bottom of the order guys, hard to get too excited for, but if you're putting this game in a vacuum and going after it, definitely looks like an offense first game. Both teams have over a 4.5 implied run total, and Guardians look like the slightly better side, especially being able to cut down, well, really both sides, these overall K rates. Man, Bybee's K rate has really gone out the window. 8% swing and strike rate this season. He was a guy that we could count on for some swing and miss last year, so we'll see if he finds it. Both teams obviously not consistent, not on paper stacked with high WRC pluses. Both teams have about 2 guys each that you would even mention for WRC plus, Quan and J-Ram versus Ellie De La Cruz and Gavin Lux. But average pitching can beat, or average hitting can beat average to below average pitching, especially in a park that will really make mistakes pay. So let's pull out a projection for this one. Let's put Bybee's K rate at, I'm gonna go 19% just to give him a little bit of tax, but he really hasn't earned it. We'll go 22 on Singer. Walk rate here for Bybee, let's go 8.5. Actually, yeah, that's fine. And then Singer, we get really keen on these lefty numbers. So he does strike out lefties slightly more than righties, but he also walks them more. So we're gonna go 9% on his walk rate. Then we'll see what Vegas has for outs. 16.5 there for Bybee. No, for Singer, yeah? Or Bybee, I don't know. Bybee. I got nothing on Singer, but I would assume at least 15, yeah? No, 2.1 against Houston. He just got hit around a bit. Prior to that, a couple 6s. So I'm gonna give him, I'll give him 16. We'll go from that. What up, Anthony? Am I hyped for the Subway Series? I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, because it really doesn't mean anything, but I guess I already know Bronx. I'm so conflicted, bro. Some of my best Yankee memories in the last 10 years have been Juan Soto coming in clutch. I probably tweeted "sign Juan Soto for life" 50 times last year. I'm hurt that he left. Now I gotta be a hater. But like, I don't know. I feel like when the Astros would come to town, there would be this F. Altuve chant, or the Astros in general, and then they would just go off. Like, the worst case scenario here is for Soto to have his best series of the year. So I'm kind of hoping he don't, but that's the beauty of baseball. There's I don't know, it just makes it interesting, right? We get to sweat something in freaking May. So I'm hyped for it, but I'm praying on his downfall. What up, Po Jim? What up, Andy? What up, Cujo? Ghost Energy Drink still 3 for $4.50. Oh, I wish. I I did buy. I tell you what, I bought a because I don't know what Ghost has done, but it's not considered an energy drink per se. It's more of a workout supplement. Like you can't buy it on the energy drink aisle here at HEB. You got to go find. I don't know. And then like those GNCs, those vitamin shops, they sell it by the cases now. I bought a case for like $30, I think. So I don't know what that comes out to, but yeah. 7-Eleven, you know, dude, I have a 7-Eleven. I'll go look. 3 for $4.50. I backed my truck up and popped the hood, man. Like that's that might be a regional thing. I don't know. Hard to find them down here sometimes. As far as switching like Crochet or Eovaldi on Fanduel, I haven't really examined, but quick look here. Ooh, I probably like Eovaldi a little bit more based on what I'm looking at. We know that's gonna be a righty heavy Astros lineup, and I don't hate Crochet though, but I give the matchup edge to Eovaldi. But both guys are beasts. I just tie breaking it with the matchup. With the 7-Eleven app, bro. There's an app. You're gonna get me in trouble. I got too many apps on my phone, bro. I got a McDonald's app, a Subway app, a freaking. Are you on Instagram? Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I have a couple Instagrams. No, I believe you though. You don't have to, dude. What? You don't have to prove. I believe you. I just have to download the app, I guess. That would be huge though. I mean, I'm stocked. I probably have like 8 in the fridge right now, but that's good to know. I need to get it. All right, let's move on to the next game on this early slate. Pirates and the Phillies. Ranger Suarez taking on Andrew Heaney. All right, so this game may not play. We'll go back to the weather report. A cluster of showers and storms should be moving into Philly right around game time. The storms will be weakening as they get closer to the ballpark, but still probably raining heavy enough to stop play. A lot to figure out here, and the radar check will be needed. So all I can say is, won't he do it? God is good. You know what I mean? This is not on the main slate. I don't have to worry about it. But if you are playing this, there does have a weather report or weather risk. You think Nola's are resting? Yeah. Unfortunately. That's the dude. The lifespan of a elite pitcher for most of them is pretty short. Some pitchers go the distance. Some pitchers get better as they freaking get older, or they're good, then they suck because they don't have that, like Verlander, right? You look at him, he was great, and then he was like rough, and then he had to reinvent himself. And then those are usually like power pitchers. But Nola's been kind of rough, and it's not like I don't know. I feel like you can kind of see the decline. But that's what it is with pitching, man. There's so many elite pitchers that have oh man, do we have a Wrigley win game going on right now? We do. One, oh, it's already going though. .7 run total for the Pirates. Phillies at 5.6. If we do lose this game, then that slate just kind of gets punted. But for the sake of projections, let's get a 19%. I mean, you look at Patrick Corbin too, man. Heck, Robbie Ray. There's so many pitchers in the league right now that a couple years ago were kind of Luis Castillo. The shelf life is small. Now you can start spider webbing pitchers versus when spider tech was a thing and so on and so forth. But you never really see that many pitchers be elite for 10 years. Some of these guys, you get a 5-year window and you kind of just take it. That's why when you get the unicorns like the Garrett Coles, the Verlanders, who else has been elite? Chris Sale's been kind of elite for a long time. He's had a couple rocky seasons, but 25% from Ranger. You gotta appreciate him. And that's also, you gotta understand when teams don't want to give these fat contracts to these pitchers. You really can't name a pitcher that received a fat contract that hasn't been a injury risk in a while. Like you look at Jacob deGrom, you look at Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer's injured this year, but he already got your miles out of him. It's almost like a given. If you're a top of the line pitcher, especially a power pitcher, you're gonna get Tommy John eventually. Sometimes two. That's even Garrett Cole. He was like the workhorse pitcher for the last couple of years. You gotta go. So when fans start getting kind of giddy about pitchers and not getting paid and whatnot, it's like, man, I think that might be the new running backs don't matter. Like pitching don't matter on the surface of that statement, when you could just like point at usable pitchers that have 2 or 3 year windows of good stuff. Otherwise you get stuck in the contracts like the Patrick Corbins. Dude, a couple years ago, like Greg Holland was a Rockies elite closer, and then like the next season, I think maybe the Cardinals, somebody like DFA'd him. It was just like the fall from grace is insane, and fast for pitchers. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm not gonna interest rank these games because it's just whatever. Oh, I was looking at Ranger Shaw's walk rate to righties because he's facing all righties more than likely, with no O'Neal Cruz, so 9%. Seven outs. Got nothing there either, so I'm just gonna throw 15s and go from there. I think Luzardo wins Triple Crown. Not Luzardo, Judge. That would be fun. Hard to see him slow down at this rate. Dude, it's kind of, I know, like, we know it's happening, but it just kind of feel like it's getting slept on. Maybe once the playoffs go away, mainstream media will kind of pick it up more. But the season he's putting together is just like video game stuff. And Ohtani's doing it too, but there's a lot of blowouts. But batting 400 is just insane. Like I bet there's a lot of people that would just assume it would have never happened again. And we'll see if he holds it up. But he's like the anti what I just said about long-term contracts. This is looking pretty good. All right. Pre-flop, if you gave him all basically the same amount of outs. Matter of fact, I think I gave him 15. I'll give everybody 16. Just because it all seems kind of wassy. I'll give them all the same amount of outs. Puts Ranger, Bybee, Brady, Heaney. But we are dealing with rain. Dude, power, when WNBA DFS first came out, man, I went crazy in the paint, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I created a spreadsheet, projections. I bought the WNBA League Pass. I still get emails every year like, hey, we're coming back. I think I was able to pay attention to it for like 3 days, bro. That product. And then this is probably 8 years ago, before they had the stars they got now. But man, that was a rough to be entertained product, and I'm not a hater, bro. But it was a lot. Some of those games were like watching pickup games at the Y, dude. I was like, this is rough. But I wanted to attack it while it was still rather unsolved. All I remember is playing Tina Charles every night. Yankees and the Mets. We're starting hot. 4.2 run total for the Mets. 5 runs for the Yankees. Tyler McGill taking on Carlos Rodon. Rodon this season has been really good, really great in the absence of Garrett Cole. Looking more like the Cy Young version of Rodon. He is going to get put to the test against this Mets lineup with only one person in the projected lineup. That's Tyrone Taylor with a subpar WRC plus. So this is a guy who thrives off of emotions, right? You're going to get a playoff game atmosphere kind of out there in the Bronx tonight. And that could go a couple different ways. And we've seen him crumble and we've seen him thrive. And all eyes on Juan Soto. And we're going to get over that really, really fast as he's number 2. So you will see him in the first inning. So that's going to be borderline must-watch TV. I think all 3 of these games in this Subway Series got picked up by national TV. And of course, the finale is going to be Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. But man, oh man. Man, oh man, this one could be a little bit more of a slugfest though. McGill, a 30% K rate for him, $1.25 on the whip, 274 average allowed to righties with a 258 xFIP. So probably room for that to come down on a 33% K rate. Against lefties, almost a 4 xFIP, striking out lefties a quarter of the time, and a 0.4 home run per 9. But that's not really attached to like a high ground ball rate. It's attached to a very low hard contact rate. So hard to square him up. So this is going to be 2 good pitchers against 2 good teams. The Yankees swapping Cabrera for LeMahieu on the road stretch, unfortunately, but it's it's still a great 1 through 5 and a really good 1 through 4 this season. All those guys, if it comes out like this, Grisham, Judge, Rice, some version of that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nerve-wracking, and it's fun to get a game that kind of means this much in a bubble in May. Unfortunately for New York, they also got a basketball game tonight, so it's not gonna be like all that people are talking about, but that's also gonna be like on the scoreboard in the stadium. So if you're a New Yorker, man, weekend starting, dude, you can go to the stadium, pop some brewskis. You can wear a Knicks jersey while watching Judge, or it could be a fun night in New York. It also could be a rough night. How do we grade this game out, man? I really obviously this is a 4 corners game. But what makes the most sense? So I think I'm gonna go pitchers then offense. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Matt on paper. Yeah, on paper. I don't know, man. Oh, this one's a hard one to push out. I gotta go. I'm going to run total. Run total. Mets. Then I think Tyler McGill is a better click than Rodon, only because you're getting like a $3,000 savings on DraftKings, and you're not losing much in terms of strikeouts, and the matchup is better in terms of WRC plus. Of course, 1 through 3 is a death row, but that's how we're gonna do that. Wait for 6.5. Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds a little bit more normal, Pojen. Would you say New York has more Yankee fans than Mets fans? Yeah, I would. I couldn't really quantify that, but yeah. Ex-best friend loved the WNBA, went to a few games, saw better. Dude, not only that, like, I don't know, man. Dudes watch, girls do it too, but you watch somebody with like the thought that she's cute, bro, I could fall in love with her if I message her on Insta. Half them girls are not interested in what you have to offer. It's bad. It's bad. So yeah, I don't know. I would really like that league to be entertaining, and I haven't watched it in the last couple years, so I don't want to dry hate on it. I know Caitlin Clark is doing some great things. Ozra Wilson is freaking getting the McDonald's meals and stuff for what's her name. So maybe it'll make the strides, but man, there's a reason that league's been subsidized for like 20 years, man. It's consistently running on a net loss. So I don't have the answer, Sway. I just know I couldn't watch it for long. Women don't support it. It's not entertaining. There's some ghosts, there's some legends there for sure. But yeah, it just I don't know, man. I would like to see women's sports for just about every sport. I was talking to this mom and her daughter the other day. Dude, the daughter looked like she could bench press me, bro. Like, she was swole. I was like, you playing sports? And you hear it every now and then. There's a girl on the football team in high school, but you can't do that in the major league level. And I was like, man, every like all female sports league, even like softball, just kind of ends after college from the mainstream eyes. It's like I wish there was a league, and maybe baseball would like be better. I don't know, or softball, but I wish women had like leagues for the young athletes to grind for and have a dream for later on. It's just like, yeah, I want to play college ball, and then I'm gonna go be an accountant. It's like I would, I don't know, if I had a daughter and she likes sports, I wish that she would have something to grind for. So that sucks. So I wish basketball was more entertaining, and I don't want to hate on it, because at least the young basketball players can say, I want to play in the WNBA. Can't really say that much about other sports for girls. Let's do a 29.5% K rate for McGill. Rodon 31. Walk rate, I'll give him a smooth 9.5. Rodon. Walks righties a lot more than lefties. Gonna see just 2 lefties, so we'll give him a 9. Let's go get some outs. 17.5. Dude, there's some juice on the under for McGill to just go 15, so. And I'm gonna give Rodon 2 points towards the QS. What's up, Mad Max? Women's MMA is low key. Yeah, but that's not like a league, but that's a good example of something like you could grow up wanting to do that. But man, the success rate, like it's hard to get into a league right now. But you get into like the top MMA, like, man, we're talking 1 of 10 billion, right? Like, yikes. Flag football might be in the Olympics. I feel like I could not watch that seriously. It seems like it's hard for my old eyes to pay attention to. I also wouldn't be like complaining because I don't watch the Olympics. So if people that watch the Olympics or run the Olympics want that and there's a demand for it, go for it, bro. Go for it. I'm not gonna. I hate when people try to gatekeep a topic that they don't even care about. It's like, oh, they want, hey man, they want snowboard, soccer, hockey, and go for it, dude. I'm not watching it. I might watch that, but I'm not gonna pretend like I care. Nats and the Orioles next up. Mackenzie Gore taking on Cade Povich. Gore with a 35% K rate so far this season, a 15.6% swing and strike rate. He is facing an Orioles team that, to say the least, this season has fallen short of a lot of expectations. We split this season up to results against lefties, or really just anything against lefties. And WRC plus, Baltimore is second on the season. If we stretch our memory to the beginning of last year in this projected lineup, depending on who we do put out there, if you get to Tyler O'Neill, Ryan Mountcastle, they have decent numbers against lefties. More so O'Neill. Mountcastle, he doesn't have the ISO that I thought he did against lefties, but it becomes pretty isolated on O'Neill, Rushman, and Ramon Urias, who, you know, I'm not sure I'm pushing the chips there. Otherwise, you take a run, you know, an average 116 from Henderson, 111 from Mountcastle, 116 from Laureano. It's not like in your face, but since the beginning of last year, if you want to honor some sample size, there's enough to make a case for them to not suck. And maybe it's going to be one of those things that they do good and bad in bad matchups, but or do, I don't know, they do bad in good matchups, good and bad matchups, but I'm not that enthralled with them pre-flop. And Mackenzie Gore has been just fine, and he has kept righties in the park decent enough. Now, ironically for him, he does allow lefties to go yard a little bit more, and Gunnar Henderson does have an elevated ISO, decent walk rate, so it might be a fun chip in a chair for a lefty on lefty bomb there. But if this Orioles lineup comes out as projected, they're going pretty righty heavy, two lefties in a projected, and Gore has been doing just fine against righties. So I'm gonna list Gore in the interest rankings. I'm not that enthralled by Cade Povich. 12% barrel rate for him this season, not that much higher than Gore, by the way. So Gore can get got, but like I said, ironically enough, it's been lefties. A single digit swing and strike rate, a 1.5 on the whip, elevated power to righties. So you do want to pick on him a little bit. Both bullpens certainly can bleed as well. I think, therefore I will have some Orioles stacks as well. But I think pre-flop, I got to go for a more quality 9 innings of opportunity for the Nationals. And then we'll go Orioles, right? So we're going to go Gore, Nats, Orioles. If we're going to start cherry picking guys on the Nationals we want to get behind, it's unfortunate that our favorites are lefties, and Cade Povich actually does hold lefties in the park as far as DFS upside on a Friday night. But maybe there's something to be said with his 58% fly ball rate and 33% hard contact rate and 12% barrel rate. He's letting balls in the air with decent contact. He just hasn't allowed any homers, and maybe that'll change here. But there's not a ton of negative platoon ISOs that we're looking at in this Nats lineup. So you're kind of maybe hoping that they paper cut Povich out of there and then they get into a beatable bullpen. But that's how I rank this pre-flop: Gore, Nats, Orioles. Then we'll start putting a pitcher projection here. So we get just 2 lefties in the projected. Let's go. I guess we'll stick with the 35% K rate. 35. Povich, we'll give him the 18 walk rate here for Gore. Go 7. Povich. 8. What up, Heath? Hope you're doing all right. The NFL is going to vote on the flag football thing later this year. I mean, like, that feels like a meme. There's no way. You're not. I mean, you're joking. That's not real. I mean, vote for them to. Unless I can see the Pro Bowl doing that. If they don't already, I don't watch the Pro Bowl. We not got don't have a gore line. What's that all about? It was on ESPN. Flag football. NFL. Oh, for their players to participate in the Olympics. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. It says owners to discuss resolution to allow NFL players to participate in flag football at the 28 Olympics. So, as a fan, sure. It's the same with WBC. As a fan, I want to see the best players represent my country. If I'm a football team owner and I got fat contracts on some of the best players on the planet, do I want to see them tear an Achilles or ACL? Because you got juke more in flag football, dude. Probably not. And I don't want to take that risk. So we'll see how that goes. The fact that they're even calling for a vote is interesting. Oh, it's 16. I don't know, man. I guess McKenzie has earned. I mean, he's been a 6-inning machine, bro. Only 2 games in his last 10 and he didn't go 6. There's no reason for me to not put 17.5 right there. With maybe a 2 implication. Povich, however. Yeah, that's kind of it though. Like, and if you're an owner, you gotta vote with your wallet, not your fandom. I don't know what I'm gonna go put 15. I'm gonna put 14.5 for Povich. Just me, but I do think like there's probably some goats that could play flag football and not tackle football. So I don't know who would be in charge of scouting that, but man. You know, they have a professional tag league you see on like ESPN 8 every now and then. Bro, those guys would be the best at it, bro. Go get one of those guys, hand him the rock. Because if there's no contact, why do I want to watch NFL players run routes? Basically, I could watch them practice without pads and get that, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, I don't know. That feels like it's not going to be fun to watch. That's just me, though. Some two-hand touch out there. Philly's lineup did drop. Tigers and the Blue Jays. Next up, Tigers with a 4.5 run total. Blue Jays 4.3. Zach Flaherty taking on Bowden Francis. Flaherty almost a 30% K rate on the season. The Tigers, oh man, the Tigers. If you didn't know, the Tigers have the best record in the American League. I mean, wow. And the American League East has one team with a winning record. So are the Tigers the best team in the AL? Question mark? I don't know. But this version of the Tigers is probably the best version that you'll get, led by Jack Flaherty and his almost 30% carry rate. With that said, the Blue Jays not really there to strike out, so it's going to be a tough matchup for him. But you get kind of a joke of a price, man. 8K for that is kind of crazy. 3 of his last 5 games have been single-digit fantasy points, so that's a problem. But the upside's still there at that price point. The 4.68 expected ERA, not what you want. The 1.6 home run per 9, not what you want. He's giving up power to both sides of the plate, but man, he is able to induce some strikeouts and a respectable xFIP to both sides of the plate as well. The line drive rate to righties might come up and catch up to him. Vladdy Jr.'s there to capitalize. I guess what we would be looking for is the low K rate guys that can swing a stick, and I think Vladdy Jr. makes the most sense here. So yeah, I think that's public enemy number 1 for Flaherty here. Bowden Francis on the other side here, 17% carry rate for him, 8.6% swing and strike rate, 12% barrel rate. Good spot for the Tigers. Probably not going to be a offensive shootout, and I don't think either run total kind of gives us that lane. But I think Flaherty, just because you rarely get an 8K guy with a 30% K rate, even though it's a bad matchup, and we'd probably go sub-stack in here. Jays sub-stack and Tigers sub-stack. Meaning I wouldn't want to commit full stand, a 5-stacker. But both guys allow some power to both sides of the plate. So Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Vladdy Jr., Santander, yeah, 2.45 on the home run per 9 for Flaherty. So there's a couple guys there you can cherry pick if you're trying to get a little cute. And then maybe one of these days Javi Baez will not bat 9th while he's batting 300. But that's where I'm going. No real conviction in that one. I've been avoiding pitch against the Twins the Blue Jays for the most part. 8% there. Bowden Francis, 17%. Walk rate for him, 5. Outs. Flaherty will probably be 17, 16 and a half, maybe. Francis 15 to 16. No, both have it. Yo, Flaherty is really okay. All right, a little juice on the 16 though, so we'll put 16. What's going on with Flaherty, dude? I might have to stop for a second, go see. You can figure that out. See why a 30%, essentially 30% K rate, and a 13% swing and strike rate can't go deep. It's not like he's walking a lot of people. It's not like he's giving them an extreme average. It's not like he's got a super high xFIP. Is he really just allowing that much power, or is there some defense to be blamed here? And then you put that defense on the Rogers Center turf. Look at smacked around at Texas, 5.81 xFIP, sure. 4.15 xFIP against Houston. What are the games that he got punked out? Texas at Houston. Somehow shoves against the Padres. Like, what? Milwaukee. Some days he has it, some days he don't. Let's look at the pitch. Seems like his fastball kind of sucks. This stuff plus that. He doesn't have that. Like, he's really like it. If I wasn't watching these games and I just let numbers tell the story, It really just like says some days he has it, some days he doesn't. You know what I mean? Like a 93 location plus against Texas, but a 102, a 105, 110, 95. And then you look at his stuff plus 95, 97, but a 105, a 101, and then a 96. Like it's just like some days he's got it, some days he doesn't. What about velocity? Velocity is pretty steady Eddie. What? So much variance in this fastball grade game to game too. Kind of crazy. I don't really, does anybody else have an explanation for this? Like his horizontal movement is more variable. It's not like a catcher split thing, is it? Like this is, he's just so inconsistent. He's consistently inconsistent. What up, Psyop? There's a Chinese restaurant background trap music. Dude, you know, one of these days, I got this AI music creator. But we did that grind to go get monetized. And it's been cool because you guys have been like donating stuff and super chats, which is cool, and the subscription. But as far as like ad revenue, one, two, three, like 3 of the last 4 streams ineligible for ad revenue because of the music. But I mean, I gotta have the music, bro. If I'm just sitting here, whatever. So it's not worth the $5-6 in ad revenue. Rogers does frame pitches real good, so it might be a catcher thing. Is it? That's actually, we can kind of look at that, I guess. Oh, that's not the right button. I know it's on here somewhere. Let's see. Finders, advanced stats, pitching. No. Pojan with the $2 dono, the super chat. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that'll go right towards a ghost. What am I doing here? I always get lost looking for, I know it's on here though. Pitching 2025. Pitch by catcher. So, he never had Roger. He had Nito with a 15 ERA, but Dylan Dingler looks like his caddy this season. A 3.79 ERA. I don't know, man. He's just like, he's all over the place. Was Nito his catcher for that that game last week? Or give up 4 bombs? I didn't even know Nito was in the league, bro. I thought he was like on the Mets. I don't know, man. I can't really explain it, but there's a range of outcome at 8K that it pays off a 30% K rate. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. Some lineups started coming. Blue Jays lineup came out, so since we're here, we'll go ahead and punch it in. Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Dalton Varsho, batting third. I like that. Although he is one of the guys that can strike out. Michael Stefanik, Jonathan Clase. We actually get a slight bump to the overall K rate, but it's still just on the back of really two guys, Varsho and Clase at 25 and 30% respectively. But dude, I tell you what, the WRC pluses for this team is two guys, and Nate Lukes is probably low sample size, so this is Vladdy. So I don't know, man. You can get past the low K rates here. There's a lot to like about Flaherty and at 8K. Next game. Catacon Rays and their 4.5 run total taking on the Marlins. Their 4.2 run total. Taj Bradley taking on Maximus Meyer. 18.3% K rate for Bradley, a 9.2% swing and strike rate. He's somebody that if in him is higher numbers than that. So I'm kind of curious to see what might be happening here. Why does this song sound so much higher? Yo, chat, anybody listen to the new Morgan Wallen album last night? 37 tracks is crazy, bro. I'll be honest, you know, I thought he can't miss. There's a couple that, you know, whatever, made they'll grow on me. But man, there's a couple bangers on that album that I was like, yo, this is good. 12% swing strike rate against Milwaukee, 4.5% against New York, 12% against New York. He's also kind of all over the road, but this is a advantage him here. There is a Royals game and a D-backs game. Those are two tough strikeout teams. Man, he had a stretch of 5+ xFIP, but Yankee Stadium, the Tampa Stadium sucks too. Not, you know, I know not supposed to consider stadium or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to paint a picture where I can get behind Taj Bradley with some confidence here. At 7K against the Marlins and their 1-4 aggregate K rate. Is there another reason for an immense reduction in strikeouts? Is he losing velo? This kind of has a vibe, Pojin. Only one pitch with a 30% whiff rate. It's the cutter. Last year, all but his fastball had 30% whiff rate, so dropped 13% on the splitter, while actually picking up a little steam. Cutter's about the same, curveball not too much. So I guess the splitter might be the reason. Splitter and fastball lost a little whiff stuff, but the velo is just about the same, if not higher, for the cutter or for the splitter. It does have a negative launch angle. I don't know. I think we do play him just because it's the Marlins. Not gonna reinvent the wheel there. What was that? Hello. And then Max Meyer, he's another curious case, man. We have seen some severe upside out of him this season, and then we've seen some downside. At Chicago, hosting the Athletics, he got Billy bopped, 10 hits in 5 innings. The power allowed is a real thing. And he's facing a Rays team that they put up some runs yesterday. But he also has some good swing and miss stuff against a aggregate 1-4 K rate team. So this might end up being maybe Might be a. I'll play both pitchers in substack situation. Raise substack. Actually, yeah, Raise substack and Marlin substack. I think Meyer. I think for Meyer it was his arm slot slider, something like that. I don't remember. Yeah, slider. The slider is a 46% whiff, and he has like 5 pitches to show. Dang, dude. Say 0% put away on the sinker? That's not even possible. 400 batting average. So, how did the Rays do against the slider? Well, let's go check out the MLBGrind.com premium spreadsheets pitch report. We've got one guy. His name is Jonathan Aranda. That has a really good grade. Well, I think we saw a homer out of Meisner yesterday. I think we saw 2 at Lau. So maybe they're calibrated, but is it wrong of me here? I think I want to flip-flop Meyer and Bradley. I'm gonna go Meyer there and then Bradley, because at least Meyer has the under the hood stuff to get strikeouts. It's not like Bradley's got like a 13% swing and strike rate like last year, but not getting strikeouts. He's not really missing bats. So we'll go with that. Meyer, Bradley, then some Rays, some Marlins. Kawhi Leonard Skinnerd. Yeah, we keep the vibes right. Let's go. I'm gonna give him a 19% carry rate for no reason. Just kidding. 27% for Meyer. Walk right here. Let's go 10%. Meyer. So 8%. We got on Vegas outs. 17.5 for both. Little steam on Bradley's over. I'm gonna give him 17.8, and then we'll go 17.5 for Meyer, which means I'm gonna give Bradley 2. Yeah, I'm gonna give them both 2. That 2 will kind of compensate for win implication and quality start. It's probably a little low, but we'll do that. Hey, the Mets and the Yankees have put out lineups, guys. We gotta take a pause for the cause. It's probably exactly as projected. Oh my God, there's no Ben Rice. Freaking Home Alone face. That might shift, dude. That's not what you want. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Mark Vientos, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Francisco Alvarez, Tyrone Taylor's batting 9th. So they just swapped the bottom. Swapped the bottom. Bottom. Swapped. Bat. Whatever. Yankees are putting out Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger batting 3rd. Goldie, Jason Dominguez, welcome to the show. Volpe, Wells, Peraza, and Vivas. So no DJ LeMahieu, which is a lateral at worst, an upgrade at best. But no Ben Rice. All right. Let's do it. Yo, let's go, Max. I'll load up the bong and microwave pizza rolls. Just a simple things. All right, we did have the Orioles lineup come out as well. Moncastle's batting third or second. Dude, what's going on? Dude, do I have an update going? Chat, am I lagging for y'all? My computer's going slow. I think there's a new Fortnite update, but close Steam or something, dude. Hello. Exit Steam. Exit Epic. I feel like I'm lagging, dude. Oh, these are normal. That's a little slow. It's usually like 2,000. But I guess because I'm streaming. I don't know. I felt like it was lagging. All right. Am I losing any? No. Doesn't say I'm dropping any frames. All right. All right. I feel like there's a little delay there. I feel like there was a little delay. Keep it moving. Oh, we were doing the Orioles lineup. All right. Mountcastle, Adley, Ramon Laureano. Okay, this lineup is pretty different than what we were looking at. Tyler O'Neill batting seventh. Oh my God, that's the forget about me homer spot. This lineup is so much different. Gun, don't do it. Don't do it, Gun. Don't. No. This is. Look at this. Look at all this ISO. Stop it, Gun. But I kind of want to put Orioles above Nationals now. What will I learn? Jorge Mateo so fast. All right, F it, dude. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Just gonna leave it at that. Braves in the Red Sox. Braves coming in hot. They don't do the most, but they do a lot. 4.1 implied run total for both teams. Garrett Crochet taking on Chris Sale, former Red Sox great. Coming back, man. This game was more exciting pre-flop than the freaking Pirates and Phillies. How is that a rivalry? Braves are, hey, pretty soon Mr. Acuna is gonna be back in this lineup too, so it might be fun. We're gonna go Crochet at the top, obviously. I think we go with some Chris Sale here. Both teams have an elevated enough K rate. Now you could swap that. This projected, actually we get the actual Red Sox. Duran, Devers, Breggy, Ref Snyder, Christian Campbell, Trevor Story, Bogard, Narvaez, Rafaela. This confirmed Red Sox lineup strikes out 26.3% of the time since the beginning of last year against lefties. Only Alex Bregman has like an above average or below average, however you're looking at it. So you could make a case for Sale over Crochet just based on strikeout acumen and price difference. But I definitely like the pitchers, which is a rare thing for me to be pitcher first in Fenway. But it makes sense here. We got some two talented guys. Then past that, I'm probably cherry picking. Chris Sale's not immune to some homers here and there. Hasn't been giving up homers at a high clip to righties since the beginning of last year. Has allowed a couple 0.9 is not nothing though. And then inversely kind of the same for Crochet. So if I got to these offenses, it would be sub stacks. Like give me O'Reilly, Ozuna, Sean Murphy, chipping a chair against Crochet, and then maybe mix in Olsen if you want to get into like a bullpen scenario. And then against Sale, kind of the same thing, man. I would be pretty short-sighted on like Devers, Bregman. I mean, when your cleanup hitters Rob Refsnyder, I love him, former Yankee great. It's a real platoony click, and it's just like, man, this falls off a cliff. So I'm just gonna stick with the pitchers for now. Go get a strikeout projection in 30% for Sale. 29% for Crochet. Walk rate here 4.5. Crochet 10. Got some outs. $17. Both pitchers basically implied for 18, so it's not quite DeGrom and Hunter Brown, but it could be. I'm gonna give them both 2.5. Blanket the win, blanket a QS. Maybe I should just give them both 3. I think I will. What up, Catalza? Did you say it's good to see the O's winning again? They just got swept by the Twins, bro. Tad Patrick's cutter against the bottom 5 Minnesota team against it with no Bucks and a Correa. Oh man, 2 first names. We have a rule, dude. The Twins are on a pretty crazy win streak. I was saying he said nice to see the Orioles win. Well, you've been sleeping for a couple days. But I do feel like the Orioles do good for DFS when they're on a slate I'm not playing, and then when they're like, I can't tell you, I was betting Gunnar Henderson homers and fantasy points for like a 4 days straight, and then I get off the freaking ship, and he homers in 3 or 4 like right after that, dude. Look at all these zeros. So I'm like, yeah, he's always at the top of the bomb detector, and then bam. As soon as I get off the ship, one homer. I was like, this son of a slot machine, bro. I let the old lady have it. Now the old lady's rich. I like Gunnar Henderson today. He's due. I think the Twins have been on a win streak, but not the Orioles. You might have saw it while they were playing the Orioles, because I don't know what the win streak is for the Twins, but it's a lot. It might be 10. No, maybe it's not. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it is 10. So you probably saw it while they were playing the Orioles and just got dyslexic. Cardinals and the Royals. Man, guys, so far, I remember I'm still trying to cook us up a Flex Friday play, but so far nothing's like screaming at me. Maybe we have to dip into some strikeout props. By the way, what are we looking at for strikeouts? Basically, Meyer would be somebody I'm looking at right off the rip. He's at 5.5. I know if I gave him 17.5 outs, he's got like 7 Ks, right? Like that, like it has to be that. He gave me 6.7 Ks, so slightly on the over on that. Not slightly. That's over 1. Bradley, I would lean the over, but his missed stuff has been bad. That's basically it. The Max Meyer strikeout prop's intriguing for now. I don't know if that's a candidate, but we'll put it here for now. Actually, we need to go opt in. I think you guys play on PrizePicks every Friday. They do this Flex Friday, so basically you could Get yourself a $20 free full flex, and if you don't hit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you don't hit, get your money back. So you can 25x a 6 pick, and then you protect it. So my goal is to put one out there tonight. But man, we've hit a bunch of games so far. Nothing's like screaming at me. But I'll tell you what, we'll nominate the Meyer K prop for now, and then we'll kind of leave it at that. Come back to it. All right, Cardinals and the Royals. Palante taking on Reagans. Royals lineup is confirmed. Jonathan India, Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvi, Michael Garcia, Michael Massey, Kevin Biggio, and Kyle Isbell. Cardinals have a 4-run total. The Royals 4.7. Reagan's pretty good. Extremely high K rate. Scoring against a middling Cardinals lineup with middling K rates, a 20.5 aggregate, held down by Brendan Donovan and Nolan Arenado. Reagan's is interesting because he's actually reverse splits in terms of strikeouts, and this has been sustained for 3 seasons now. So a lot of times it's just like noisy, but we got three seasons now of 30+% K rates to righties, almost a 10% difference aggregate between lefties and righties. So the more righties, the better. And then we could dip into that. We got just 2 lefties in the aggregate, in the projected. So Cole Reagan's at the top of our interest ranking in Kaufman. Then I think we're going Royals against this contact pitcher. 15% K rate for Palante. Almost 8% barrel rate, which is double what we're used to for him. And he's walking righties, allowing righties for a good average. And 1.74 homer per 9. It's actually kind of crazy considering his home park is Busch. So let's what the freak that's all about. We also like that it's against righties, and that's Bobby Witt Jr. territory. So might start thinking about a Bobby Witt fantasy point prop. 9.5. F my life. Bing bong. That ground ball rate's kind of crazy, dude. Yeah, Piante allows the ball on the ground, that's for sure. I was gonna look at his homers per park and see if Kaufman versus what he's got. So he would have got 2 homers back if all his games were in Kaufman naturally. He actually would have added a home, or no, he would have lost one in St. Louis. All right. Let's go Reagan's Royals. And I think for the Royals, we get Substacky. And then we go put in a strikeout projection. 15% for Piante. Kind of in the middle here. So I'm going to go 8% walk rate. Reagan's with probably 2 lefties. We'll stick with the 38. That's such a crazy K rate, to be honest. We'll go 7% on the walk. $17.5 and $15.5. We'll give him a little juice on the QS, and we'll go from there. Need a Ghost Energy IV drip. Nah, I just finished this one can. I just came off of a cleanse cycle where I try to reset the caffeine button. I'm trying not to drink as much, but I'm still like probably gonna drink another one later, or at least some coffee. I made a best friend in the local barista at Starbucks. It's kind of crazy, dude. She was telling me that she put sriracha in rude customers' coffee. I was like, you probably shouldn't tell me that. But she's like, I wouldn't do it to you. I was like, okay. That's cool. Let's move on. Astros and the Rangers. Man, Lance McCullers, dude. He might be a problem. All right, before we even get to typing, Nathan Eovaldi, top of our interest ranking here. So Eovaldi this season, but really the last 3 seasons, elite strikeout stuff against righties, essentially a 1-4 plus. So far hasn't allowed a bomb to a righty. It's not walking righties. 55% ground ball rate. You get no Yordan Alvarez against this Astros team. Yeah, they don't strike out a ton versus what you might hope for, but I think we could squeeze 1 or 2 extra implied from what they usually offer, just because of Eovaldi's steady Eddiness. And you kind of see that they can bleed red. He's no DeGrom, but DeGrom was doing just fine. And they don't walk much either. So Eovaldi, his pitch count might let him go deep, like deep. We might get one of those Maddox games from Eovaldi if they're not going to strike out and just keep batted balling out. So Eovaldi top of the interest ranking for me. Lance McCullers, you did your thing, dog, but that's gonna be a no for me. Oh man, ball from grace here for Lance. At least a really rough last outing. You're kind of rooting for him, kind of are, but it's been a rough. Let's go. Oh my God. This is bad. An 11.17 expected ERA. The reason these are not colored is because he hasn't pitched enough innings to be qualified. This is horrendous. Wow. Okay. Expected slug on every one of his pitches. Oh my God, bro. I don't think I feel bad. Like, I don't hate Lance McCullers, but this is rough, man. This is rough. But it was, was just one really bad game against Cincy. White Sox are a really bad team. The Rangers probably somewhere in the middle of White Sox and Reds, yeah. But the trust issues, we're not playing Lance McCullers, that's for gosh dang sure. Secondly, I don't know that he would go deep enough anyway. I mean, 87 pitches just to get 3.2 against the White Sox. The walks have been there. Yeah, I think we have to get some Rangers interest, unfortunately. Let me look at something right quick. Roof is going to be closed. All right, I'm gonna go Ranger Substack. I know what we're saying. Rangers suck, but so do not Ellie De La Cruz on the Reds. And if he's got no control, it's gonna walk people. You create the big inning. Couple of decent walk rates that can be boosted on the Ranger side. I'm gonna go Substack with Eovaldi. How we're doing it. Little Caesars, a new Baja Blast. I can only get so erect. Jesus. Yeah, Little Caesars, man. When I was a kid, I don't remember that pizza smacking like it does now, bro. I don't know if they overhauled stuff, but their pizza is actually like my favorite pizza in Waco out of all the chains. And they have a drive-through, and I'm fat, so it just works out. Oh, an 18% walk right there. We're gonna go 26 on his carrot. Focusing on the splits. Like if you're a pizza shop and you have a drive-through, it's over, dude. It's over. Really anything. Subway, one of my Subways has a drive-through, so I can go through that too. That's America, and people are handing 3 pizzas through a window into a car so you can get home as fast as possible to swallow some cheese. This is America. 18 and 14 and a half. McCullers getting some betting confidence to go 15 here. I'm not as confident, but I get it. The Rangers. I'm gonna give Eovaldi 4. Yeah. That pretzel, dude. That pretzel crust, I'm on the fence, but they have stuffed pretzel crust, which is just, come on. But I like the pretzel stuff. So Wendy's has a pretzel burger that I like as well. But the pretzel crust at Little Caesars, man, I feel like it's a little too much salt. Like I drink a gallon of water just trying to down that crap. Marcos, we do got some Marcos for sure. Quick Trip and Marvick have cheap, good pizza. We got Marco here. It's pretty good. I think we have Marco, but I've never been there. We have a place called Shorty's Pizza Shack that I see people always go into, but parking lot's always packed, which is probably a good thing. Brewers hosting the Twins, and Twins 3.9 run total for the Twins. Now the Twins on a little bit of a win streak here, but I think when you open up the game log of a Byron Buxton, he's responsible for a lot. God dang, he hit 3 and 4 strikeouts, but maybe not as much as I thought he was. There's something that two things you don't want to see when you're a Twins fan is Carlos Correa health and Byron Buxton health get jeopardized. When they're both healthy, we go on 10-game win streaks. 13th all time. Mullins pops it up. Correa going back. Here comes Buxton. Bam! Head-to-head contact, concussion protocol for arguably your 2 best players, not named Trevor Larnach. And that might dampen tonight's Twins lineup quite a bit. So the Twins on their win streak here. They're facing a Brewers team that certainly is struggling, but man, those are 2 players you don't want to lose. So you're replacing them with a lot of red in the WRC plus column. You get Trevor Larnach and the Sunshine Gang up against Chad Patrick, who has a 20% K rate this season, 8.5% swing and strike rate. Fly ball guy, gives him some power to righties. Bad hitting, bad pitching kind of a meeting here. 3.85 expected ERA, elevated xFIP to both sides of the plate for Patrick here. But yeah, this is going to be rough to click either name with any bit of confidence in terms of pitcher versus this offense, but it certainly dampens this offense. Joe Ryan on the bump for the Twins. He's got a 30% K rate this season, a 0.83 whip. That's pristine, especially considering a 1.67 home run per 9. Striking out righties at a crazy clip, 38%. But the Brewers will come out pretty half and half here. They do have some decent ISO spots, but they also walk quite a bit. But that's not been an issue for Joe Ryan essentially ever. And the K rates, there's a lane of Hoskins, Bowers, Monasterio that strike out a lot, but then after that there's a lot of, you got to earn it. So I do think at face value, I'm kind of confused. Yelich is the main lefty I'm worried about, right? Free League doesn't hit for much pop, and then you can kind of cross out Chourio. Not if you're best case scenarioing it, you can cross out Chourio and Contreras with this almost 40% K rate. So I think we have to go Ryan. I put Joey Ryan. I want some mustache ride. And then what do you guys? Yeah, this I saw some Chad Patrick love. I don't know, man. Let's see if we can talk ourselves into this. You mentioned the cutter, yeah. Throwing that cutter quite a bit. Larnack, Ryan Jeffers, Willie Castro, actually all grayed out surprisingly well against it, but everybody else sucks. And that cutter's been good, right? So what is it that we are looking for? Hmm. 248 expected batting average. All those pitchers have a low expected batting average. So outside of changeup and slider, which he doesn't throw a ton. Is he like a sneaky quality start click? Just out there playing some hard to hit baseball. 6.2 innings against Houston, 6 against the Athletics. Pitch count has touched 100. Strikeout, I wouldn't say a strikeout per inning, but just under a strikeout per inning against Houston. 6,500 is pretty cheap. Now we do have some big boy pitching, or big boy upside, right? We can get double barrel 30s, Crochet, potential at least. Crochet, Eovaldi, Rodon, Logan Webb at home, Cole Reagans at home, Joe Ryan in the same game, and then Corbin Burns. Last night when I was updating the sheet, he was a minus 407 favorite. He's gone up to minus 425. So against that Rockies lineup, so essentially what I'm getting at here is we haven't fallen in love with an offense yet. I know that's going to change in the later games, at least with the D-backs. But would you guys say that today you're probably going to get 2 pitchers with 30 fantasy points? Because just thinking range of outcomes, you could see it where Crochet, Eovaldi, Rodon, Webb, maybe. Like, forget the matchup, just in and of themselves in a vacuum, just their talent, right? Ryan, Reagans, Burns, Chris Sale, even Mackenzie Gore, like they all theoretically have it. Even at 6K for Chad Patrick, if he got you a 20, like you're, oh yeah, I got 20 from a pitcher at 6,500, that may not matter. Because generally speaking, if you get a double barrel 30 from pitching, that's just going to be the nuts somehow. That's kind of where my mindset is here. JP Sears. Okay, relax. What up, Trey? What up, Lone Wolf here? Hope we're doing all right. The price alone is worth paying Patrick in tournaments. Theoretically, yes. There's definite value on this price tag, but out of all the I think with pitcher, I haven't said this phrase since basketball, but you kind of have to win the position. And this is like a day one slate of starters. You know what I mean? So like, even if you get 3x to 4x value off of a 6K pitcher, it may not mean much if you're getting 30 plus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to win the position, and everything else will probably fall in line. It's not impossible though. Like, if you're on Patrick, don't let me talk you out. I'm just kind of like spitballing and thinking out loud. How often does Patrick, let's say we give Patrick 23 fantasy points, would we all be like happy with that? How many? Actually, let's just see what the projection is. Actually, what am I talking? 30% versus Patrick's. Patrick, are you optimal? No. Why? Because there's 8 pitchers with 30 points. I don't know. Let's give him a 8%. And Ryan 3.5. That is a comma. 17.5, 16.5. We'll give him 2. So off of that, we get Chad Patrick with a soft projection of 24 Fanduel points and 22 DKP. I think we would all agree if we paid 6K for a pitcher, 22 fantasy points is a win. But is that Super Saiyan ceiling, or is there more? No, man. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. I think bats might be cracking today and may pay down a pitcher and hope some of the studs get touched up more than expected. I mean, a strategy is a strategy, bro. Like, you could tell me I'm playing this scenario. I'm like, all right, cool. If you're coming in with a strategy, I respect it. I'm just thinking there might be too much 30% pitchers, too many 30% K rate pitchers on the slate to not see some crazy scores. Definitely some bats gonna go off. I mean, yeah, we haven't scratched the surface on, but we got 2 teams with over 6 implied run totals coming up. And those bats are not going to be cheap. So maybe a SP, an ace, and a Chad Patrick get you there to go grab like a Dodgers D-back stack. Because yeah, it's going to be hard to stack those 2 teams with. But man, there are some pitchers that are kind of dumb priced. We'll look at the projections here in a little bit, and then we'll talk more about it. But it's like, so like in basketball, right? Just an example. And this is way less relatable in baseball, because baseball is just crazy. But like, I don't know, let's say you get a 3.5K center drawing a start, and he goes out there and gets you 10x, right? He goes and gets you 30 fantasy points. You're super stoked. But like, it means nothing when Jokic drops 70. Like, even if Jokic only hit 5x, you know what I mean? Like, if you win the position by that much, you're going to be optimal more often than you're not. And in basketball, it's easier to like get there inversely because you have a higher predictive value on every position in terms of ceiling. You really don't have that same predictive value without insane variance for baseball. But the least variance comes from the pitcher slot. So what's probably more common is getting the 10K aces to deliver and finding the random 8-hole 3K homer, then getting the 6K pitcher to deliver, and then finding the 6K player that super delivers. Because not only does he have to deliver at his price, but he also has to beat out the all the 3K hitters that are also homering. Like, we're seeing players put up Judge and Ohtani scores on a day-to-day basis. They're just not as consistent. But in a daily bubble, you don't usually see as many 6K pitchers put up 10K results, if that makes sense. We're just thinking out loud here. But I respect every strategy, every which way you attack a slate. I love it. As long as you have a plan, do it. If your plan is to punt pitching and go crazy with Dodgers and D-backs, I'm with it. Then there's some puntable pitchers. If you're like me, I'm kind of boring. I like to pay up for pitching and fill it out. If you don't, my plan today is to find the best BVP matchups on a 15-game slate and let it ride. Hey man, that's a strategy. Go for it. You know what I mean? Narrative, whatever it is, I respect it. As long as you just aren't pulling names out of a hat, go for it. All right, so I ended up just putting Joey Ryan here on the interest ranking, but I there's a case. We did all this Chad Patrick talk, and I do think there might be a stronger case for Patrick on FanDuel because it's a coin flip for the win, and he might be able to go deeper if he's not getting those strikeouts. So we'll do that. What up, Earth to Air? Fading Yamamoto. Yeah, I mean, and that's it. If was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was Wednesday. We talked about it on stream where Nick Lodolo came in as the highest owned pitcher in the ownership projections, and I think it came out to where he was like 36% owned. And then we were here like, dude, he's like not even top 6 in our fantasy point projections, and I just don't see it. Our strategy was fade the top 2 owned pitchers or fade, and go from there, and it worked out. If your strategy is to fade the top 2 owned stacks and go from there, it works out. And that's just kind of the game we're playing. Probability versus ownership versus range of outcomes versus feeling in our bad knee when the storm's coming in. You just print out the lineup, tape it to the wall, and throw darts. One of these days. One of these days, we'll have to do some more YouTube brain dead content where, what's up guys, in this video, I pull names out of a hat for $100 single entry. Yeah, ownership is so huge, especially on really any slate, but on a big slate when there's more pivots. Like last night, there was a 2-game night slate that was DeGrom, Hunter Brown, and then Beto and a bullpen game. You're not playing Beto ever. So and if you're scripting, you're basically lock buttoning DeGrom and Brown and going from there. So it doesn't make sense to get away from the 70% owned pitchers in that scenario. But like if you did have a set, you could have played some Beto. And every now and then we get those type of slates. One of my best nights so far this year was a late slate where Antonio Senzatella had 16% ownership just by default against the Dodgers. I was like, nope, not doing that. Not happening. and it worked out. So sometimes it makes sense to be contrarian just to be contrarian, but then sometimes you got to find a different way to skin the cat. And like I said, I'm more boring. I'm not likely to take too many chances at pitching versus hitting. All right, D-backs hosting the Rockies. There's a lot of craziness in this one. First of all, I don't know that I've ever seen a minus 425 favorite in May. At least my memory can't remember. It might have been like an old Pete Kershaw versus Marlins or something dumb, you know? 3 implied run total for the Rockies. I got Carson Palmquist now. I did have Herman Marquez earlier. Is that what's going on with that? Do we just not know what the freak is going on with that? Let's see. Palmquist. Yeah, just Palmquist. Carson Palmquist headed to the big leagues. Despite lower velo, he's a whiff machine thanks to a deadly four-seam sweeper combo. Why? He got the left-handed version of Joe Ryan's four-seam. Welcome to the show. He is the 9th prospect for the Rockies? Bro, that's like being... I can't even say. Never mind. 3.82 ERA in Albuquerque. Get strikeouts, but hey, you're not facing a strikeout team. Shout out to Pitch Profiler on Twitter. Hey, guess what? I like the D-backs against lefties. Grom and Brown 75%. Yeah, it's just like I just lock it. It's like at that point you either lock them or full fade them, right? Why try to leverage 75% ownership on a 2-game slate if it's not like Mike Trout, if it's not a hitter, you know what I mean? With the options available. Like if you're there, your leverage is the full fade, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not technically, but was there a 25% probability of Beto and a bullpen arm being optimal? No. Not in my book. Barry Zito from his Oakland days, his pitch overlay was unreal. That waist high fastball followed by the... Yeah. Dude, there's some old school pitchers that in their time didn't get the analytical praise that maybe they deserved, and there's some pitchers that were overhyped. Dude, you look at like drafts from 30 years ago versus now, or even contracts, it's crazy how dumb baseball was at some point and how long it took for them to become analytical. Actually, we're gonna go Corbin Burns, D-backs. Corbin Burns, by the way, on the season, 20% K rate, 9.6% swinging strike rate, but this is literally the worst team of all time going against them. I guess we'll see if the roof is open in Chase Field. I mean, this is one of the most lopsided things I've ever seen in the month of May. 3.3 run differential versus... hey, it's Friday, May 16th. They've got the roof listed as open in Chase Field, which makes it's probably like 90 degrees. Chase Field temperature. That's actually not too bad. I thought it would be closer to like 100, but Friday, our excessive heat. Severe heat is expected in this area. Welcome to the show. Get this Celsius crap off my screen. What is this? Don't need no notice. Brother. I don't know what this means. Oh God. Anyway, it's hot in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a desert. I don't have to tell you this. So we're gonna list that. Chase Field roof listed open. Burns D-backs not playing Palmquist. Hey, welcome to the show, kid. Good luck. I don't even need to give him the run total is going to do it for me. Otherwise, I would consider a weather boost here. But yeah, Arson Palmquist MILB. Let's see if he's got like a power issue or anything. 35.1 innings, 45 Ks, 3.82 ERA. 28.1 innings, 3 homers, so about on par with what you expect. 13 walks. It feels a little high. Baseball needs to bring the juice back. Oof. Bruh. The stories from back then to now, like, sometimes it feels unfair to see athletes get canceled or held to a crazy standard. If people only knew what was going on in the 70s and 80s. I mean, we had people. He was on crack. We had Darryl Strawberry out here terrorizing the league with an 8-ball in his pocket. We got perfect game. David Wells was effing drunk. Got freaking homie threw a no-hitter on acid. Like, the stuff that was happening back then is insane versus now. Like, I want that documentary. But now, because some guy took testosterone, he's blackballed. It's like, man, yeah, homies, half the league was snorting back then, bro. There's no, yeah, people didn't know, man. People didn't know, bro. There was a story about I think it was a Yankee. Who was it? It was it DiMaggio? One of them wrote I think they banged some girl into the bleachers in the middle of a doubleheader or something. It says that. Dear Mickey, oh, Mickey Mantle, not DiMaggio. So they asked players to list their favorite memories, and I consider the following my outstanding experience at Yankee Stadium. I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen. This event occurred. It was about the 3rd or 4th inning. I had a pulled groin and couldn't F at the time. She was a very nice girl and asked me what to do with the cum after I come in her mouth. I said, "Don't ask me. I'm no sucker." These are our heroes, guys. But we're holding these youngsters to such a ridiculous standard because there's cell phones everywhere. What do I do with it? Don't ask me. Oh, man. That was in that movie 61? Bruh. Those stories are nuts. All right, let's put a projection in this one. We're kind of going off the rails, but we're having fun. If it did. Let's get Burnsy a 20% carry rate. The matchup will juice him up anyway. walking lefties at a high clip, but I'm not sure we're worried about that here. We'll give him an 8%, or we'll give him 10, we'll give him 8. What we got on Burns outs? I'll give him 18. Oh shoot, wrong guy. I'm gonna give Almquist 12.5, and then we'll go 18 on Burns. I hit the soundboard, my bad, y'all. I always forget that's a thing. I'm gonna give him 4. Different time, man. Different time. People were chewing tobacco, pretty much smoking. Everyone was smoking back then, bro. You're seeing guys spitting wads. So it's a different game. Mariners in the Padres is such a different game than the D-backs and Rockies. We got a 3.9 run total for the Mariners. Padres 4.8. Decent imbalance as far as seesaw goes. 4.8 versus 3.9, almost a run favored. Stephen Kolek taking on Logan Evans. Stop me if you are wondering who they are. 16% K rate for Evans and 15 innings of work so far. Are we expecting? He went 9 innings against the aforementioned Rockies, bro. That's gonna make his stats look really good. But it's the freaking Rockies, bro. And then Logan Evans 5 innings straight. So I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative with the expectation here. Let's just go straight to a pitcher projection. I'm gonna go 18% and 20%. Then we'll go 10% on the walk. And then we'll go 8%. What do I do with it? Don't ask me. I'll go 15 for both. Oh my gosh. What's up, Grayson? Any props? I'm kind of on the Max Meyer strikeouts if you get it at 5.5. My goal is to create a little flex card here. I guess we probably got to get into some D-backs interest with the 6 run total, but yeah. Appreciate you stopping by, shoving. Two more games. Let's get over to the Angels and Dodgers. Jack Kachenowicz taking on Dustin May. This is not a good spot for Mr. Kachenowicz, especially coming off or going into a Dodgers team that have been sleeping in their own beds, playing half a game, beating down innocent pitchers. They also have a 6+ run total, much like their AL West peers, Arizona Diamondbacks. So we're going Dodgers, top of the interest ranking. And then the Angels strike out enough that I could see some cases for Dustin May. But if I'm gonna push back on Chad Patrick, I gotta push back a little bit on Dustin May as well, where in a vacuum they could pay off the price point versus the matchup. But is he gonna drop 30? I don't know. So since I did put Chad Patrick, I will put Dustin May, but understand it's more of a value thing. And we've seen bullpens are pretty rested. We've also seen Dave Roberts not have a long leash for some of these guys. I just had Dave Roberts like a dopey. Let's go May. 6.2, 5.2, 5.1. Pitch count. He flirted with 100 once against Atlanta, trying to get to that quality start or that 6th inning, whatever. But not super excited. So Dodgers, May. And then is there a range of outcomes where May gets bopped? Righties could definitely get to him. 17% K rate. to righties, 4.8 xFIP, 276 average allowed, and a 184 homer per nine. And this Angels lineup does have some righty power. Soler, Ohapi. I'm gonna leave it at that, but I think you could cherry pick the Angels if you wanted to. What up, Ryan? Hope you're doing all right. All right, one game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. Let you guys know what we've been doing all day is upkeeping the MLBGrind.com premium spreadsheet. After we look at this last game, we're going to go back, update some more lineups, then we'll try to pull away 5 flex picks as well. But if you guys want access to the spreadsheet on a daily basis, you can go to MLBGrind.com, click premium membership. There's week pass, month pass, and season pass, and that'll unlock the link to the spreadsheet. The link to the Discord, get in the Discord, say what's up. We'd love to talk to you, sweat some games with you. Right now, there is a Wrigley win game going on, and you got 2 homers from Miguel Vargas and Pete Crow Armstrong, and you would know that if you just had the Discord up, because this Discord is going to show you news as tweets are tweeted, home run alerts, all that good stuff, barrel alerts. So it's a good place to just have Discord on the second screen and not have to refresh Twitter every couple of minutes. You get access to the spreadsheet, which gives you the index portal, easy to use, easy to consume, researching game by game using the splits that I think matter, the pitcher projections for the main slates of the day, the bomb detector, which is world famous. Let's sort that real quick. That tells us what we think are the players in best spots to homer today, the implied probability based on our bomb rating, the fair odds based on our bomb rating, and then a market representation on what you might be able to pay via the market. So this is a good way to let you know if you're overpaying for props. A lot of victory laps lately on a Judge or Shohei Ohtani plus 150, you know what I mean, home run prop, and I'm just like, I'm happy for the homies, but I'm like, man, that's such a bad, that's not worth it. There's got to be better ways to get to that. I don't know, but it also will expose potential value opportunities. So like TJ Frieda leading off in Great American Ballpark, we got about a 4.39 bomb rating. That's an 18% probability. Fair odds would be 469, and on Fanduel at the top of the stream, they shot out a 600 odd price tag, so a little bit of value to be had on that. And then you get into guys like Agustin Ramirez, Oswaldo Peraza. With each of these ratings, I would always say refer to the hitter sample, pitcher sample, and just feel confident about the sample size. But a quick way to digest what you're looking at. Also, we have the stack ratings that will rank the teams in best spots via their projected / confirmed lineup in the matchup. Considers weather, pitching, bullpens, all that stuff. So all that good stuff and more with a subscription, MLBGrind.com. What up, Michael? You got May and Reagans? I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. I've only watched one baseball game my whole life, but I have May, Reagans, Carroll, Gurriel, Betts, Mateo. Still need 4 players. Would Miguel over 5.5 Ks against the Yankees be a good spot? So I can tell you what the projection that we have says. Got him at 5.79, so I would not feel like super confident, but I do lean. No, but 5.5 is actually like the proper. I like to lean when I find like full point discrepancies, and I had that in Max Meyer earlier. I don't know if PrizePicks still has that. They do. So for instance, Max Meyer on my projection spit out 6.74, so that's a full point better, a full strikeout better. So that's where I'm at on that. Mike, I don't hate the Reagans click. May, as far as this price point's considered, isn't a fine enough spot, but there's a lot of big boy pitching today with some big boy potential, and that's the most I could say big boy in a day without getting sus text messages and advertisements. So if it were me, I'd probably go like Reagans and Eovaldi or something like that. But there's a lot of high upside pitching. If this is your first taste of baseball or baseball DFS, you've picked quite a slate, because there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of opportunity for teams to score 20 and a lot of bit of pitchers that can go out there and drop 30 to 40. So you're gonna get the full dish of variance from baseball today. Zach Neto, fantasy score and prize picks. You like that? If he leads off against May, is it like 4.5 or something stupid? I would like to make sure that he leads off, but we may not get that lineup. But 6.5, maybe. Just been watching videos and stuff all day. Yeah, Mike, it's baseball is a wild world for fantasy. It's the sport with the most predictive value, but the highest unpredictability. If you don't understand what that means, it makes perfect sense to everyone that has been playing baseball. We could say all day what should happen, and then the 1 day variance, right? All these 3,000 simulated games, what happens the most, but still what happens the least can still happen. So only the strong survive, or the baseball purists. Otherwise, I would highly caution you to not spend too much money today. Kind of learn the sport a little bit, understand what you're looking for. Just as a entry level lesson for baseball, it is a highly team correlated scoring game, meaning there's probably like a 98% chance tonight that the top lineup has 4 to 5 players from the same team on DraftKings. So you essentially have to fall in love with a team. And the D-backs and the Dodgers have a 6+ run total. So if you're limited on bullets that you're shooting, I would probably not fall in love with those teams. And you want that bullet to mean more with a better chance to hit first place, you know? Sean Murphy under 1.5 homers, also looking good. Oh, hits, runs, RBIs. Okay. You should NFL DFS for MLB runs between times, so I might as well try it. Learn. Yeah, I would highly recommend. Okay, $15 not bad. Yeah, lay out a bankroll, because the differences in baseball day to day is crazy. And don't get too high in your wins, too low in your losses. You just got to create a process, trust the process, and understand every day is a snowflake, man. It's not the same. There's weather issues, there's ballpark dimensions. Imagine in football if, I don't know, Arrowhead Stadium was only 70 yards instead of 100 yards. And then, like, I don't know, MetLife was 120 yards instead of 100 yards. There's so many weird nuances in baseball that can be frustrating. So you just kind of have to fall in love with the game if you want to come along for the ride. And it's a learning curve. I think it's the greatest learning curve in sports from an analytical fan standpoint. But once you learn it, it's nothing. But it probably took me like 5 years to feel somewhat confident about what I'm saying. Now I'm like 10 years in, so. JP Sears is pitching against Logan Webb in Oracle. Pitcher's Park here, so good spot for Logan Webb and his close to 30% K rate. However, he is facing an Athletics team that offer a ton of ISO and quite a bit of strikeout in half of the lineup. But Logan Webb's been such a good ground ball pitcher, so you parlay that with the fact that you can maybe neutralize some of the strengths of the Athletics in the Pitcher Park. I'm gonna get Logan Webb at the top of the interest ranking. JP Sears inversely 20% K rate for him, 8.4% swing and strike rate. The barrel rate's at 7%. Keeping lefties at bay for the most part. He actually is allowing more power to lefties, and 3 years straight of like an aggregate at 1.4, but this year almost a 2 homer per 9. Now you're gonna get some wonky stuff with that Sutter Health Park, but it's not like he hasn't had the benefit of Oakland Coliseum in the last 2 seasons. He still does allow some bombs to lefties, which is fun because Young-Ho Lee can hit some lefties, man. We've kind of seen that this season. I'm not running to stack either team here, but if you wanted to cherry pick a Lee, or I don't know if Mike Yastrzemski has a shot of making this lineup, could be a fun click late in the night. Didn't play Wednesday. All right. But I think clearly Logan Webb profiles the best in this game. And I'm not really going to push the issue on getting to anything else. Some people might be interested in JP Sears. I would say JP Sears, out of all the 7K punts we've talked about with Kurtz and Dustin May, I would think May is the most intriguing to me, just because of the matchup, giving more strikeouts than like Chad Patrick versus the Twins. And I guess there is enough strikeouts in this Giants lineup, but it also is kind of bottom heavy. Patrick Bailey and Christian Koss really ringing up the aggregate. So I don't know if I had to tier rank the 7K guys. I think it's May, Patrick, and then Sears. But all right, so let's go Logan Webb. Let's go fill out a pitcher projection. We didn't do the previous game for pitcher projection either, so let's go 13%, and then after this we'll see if we can update some lineups and maybe pull out 5 or 6 clicks on a PrizePicks Flex Friday. So if you guys aren't familiar, you can get $20 on a flex pick. If you lose, you get that $20 back in promo. You can use code Gundacker to sign up, I think. They didn't really get back to me on that. I had a code, but then I didn't do stuff for 2 years, so I don't know if they deleted it. Let's go 20% for May. Walk rate 9.5. But everyone has a PrizePicks account these days anyway. So if you're existing and you don't have a PrizePicks account, I don't know how you did that. How you doing that? 20% K rate for Sears, Logan Webb. So Webb is a splitty guy, but not that much. So we'll just give him the 30% and live with it. Let's go 6 and 4. Let's go get some outs from Vegas. 17.5 for May, 14.5. So we're gonna go 17.5, 15. Man, this got me in trouble yesterday. I'm going 14.5 for Kochenowicz. The Dodgers are just on a different level right now. 18. There's a coin flip for him to go over 18. That's crazy. JP Sears, good steam for 17.5 as well. I'm gonna give Logan Webb 2.5 towards the QS. I'm gonna give Sears 1, and I believe that will give us enough steam to shut down the projection page, meaning we can open up the main pitcher projection. Which gives us Sale, Corbin Burns, Logan Webb, Mackenzie Gore, Meyer, Reagans. May is actually higher than I would have guessed. So is Sears. Them coming in above Crochet feels like I did something wrong. Innings, 3 points towards the QS. I mean, that's only on DK where they come in above. Implied for 2.73 earnings. $1.56 on the walk. Yeah, I don't know. Sorted by Fanduel. That'll make us feel better. Yeah, Crochet comes in 4th on Fanduel, but on DK it gets weird. Then we'll go stack rating. And we will take out Early games. Don't forget, there is weather for a couple of these early games to keep an eye on. But so far, I think we're in the clear. All right, get rid of this NA. There it is. Dodgers, D-backs, the Mets, F my life, Yankees, Baltimore. Our stacks ran out. Kind of like this John L. dude I used to follow with that Pat Mayo dude when Jock Market was a thing. Jock Market. There's a throwback. All right, let's go get some updated lineups. And then let's try and make 5 picks or 6 picks on a PrizePicks flex. If you guys want to tail it and lose money with me, let's go. Nationals lineup: CJ Abrams, Alex Colbert in second, James Wood, Hybert Ruiz, Nate Lowe, Dylan Cruz, Jose Tena, Jacob Young, Nassim Nunez. So this lineup is definitely different. No Josh Bell, first of all. I guess you could say it got worse. There is no power to speak of in this lineup right now. And run total stayed the same. Ew. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I don't know if I like the nut stack anymore. Don't think I do. Tigers lineup is out. We got Kerry, Carpenter, Glaber, Cole Keith, Riley Green, Torkelson, McKinstry, Dingler, Sweeney, Avi Baez, exactly as projected. Run total's the same. Blue Jays lineup is out. Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Varsho. I think this came out. I just didn't greenlight it. Barger, Lukes, Stefan. Yeah, I just didn't greenlight it. I remember talking about it. Rays, Yandy Diaz leading off. So Yandy was he had a little reprieve because he couldn't go to Canada because of passport issues or something. So Caballero, Van Rortvet, Chandler Simpson. Marlins, Xavier Edwards, Jesus Sanchez, Augustine Norby, Ronnie Simon batting 7th, Graham Pauly. So bottom of this lineup definitely a little different. I think it's a 3-man swap here. Still enough strikeouts in this lineup for Taj Bradley, but the real lean for me was the Max Meyer side. So prior to this, we had over a point difference between our strikeout prop and the board. So now that we do have the lineups sorted by strikeouts, 6.61. So still a full point over. It really just matters him getting that 6, right? So a lot of strikeouts right here. And then we look at that slider pitch report for him. And there's a couple positive grades. Not a ton. All right. Still kind of like the Meyer K prop. We might have that on our flex pick. Maybe. Braves lineup. Eli White leading off. Austin Riley, Ozuna, Olson, Sean Murphy, Albies, Harris, Stewart, Fairchild, Nick Allen. Here's a fun thought. How often does the sales playing with the Fairchild? Oh, he's got Murphy. Why? Why did I think Fairchild was a catcher? I'm stupid. So we're working with Murphy. Murphy's been fine. Here's a, I'm not gonna blame Murphy here, but in just about the same amount of innings, he has like over triple the walks. Is Murphy struggling on framing, or is it just a coincidence? Interesting. Anyway. Next up, Cardinals lineup is out. Lars Nootbaar, Mason Wynn, Brendan Donovan, Arenado, Wilson Contreras, Ivan Herrera, Pedro Walker, and Victor Scott II. Batting ninth. All right, cool. Get that in. Astros not out. Rangers is out. Josh Smith, Langford, Young Jock, Adolis, Marcus Semien, Josh Young, Evan Carter, Berger, Heim as projected. That's what you want. Twins lineup did come out. Larnack, Jesus, Ryan Jeffers, Brooks Lee, Ty France, Willie Castro, Cody Clemens, Royce Lewis, Deshaun Kelsey Jr., Christian Vasquez. Man. There's not much in the WRC plus column on this lineup. God dang. All right, that catches us up on lineups. You like the Tigers lineup? No, I'm not playing Povich. You're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. All right, so now that we adjusted those, sort the stack rating. Dude, the Dodgers are so unfair. Nothing really changed in the stack rating. Pitcher projection didn't really change a whole lot. So we got to find 6 picks, y'all. Let's do this. Let's freaking do this. All right, game by game here. Start with the main slate. I'm going to avoid these early weather games. We go Mets and Yankees. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to sweat this game. I don't. 2 good pitchers, 2 good offenses. I'm gonna skip that. Nats and Orioles. Alex Call hits lefties for a great average, decent OPS, 148 WRC plus. If we got him less than 6.5 fantasy points, I'd listen. We don't have them for any fantasy points. I'm done listening. Dude, for a while, they were doing really good at fantasy points. That's really what I want to sweat. Fantasy points or hits plus runs plus RBIs. But, what about the other side? Gore, I don't really want to dabble with the 35% K rate. Wish they would update the Rockies pitcher for tonight. Who? DraftKings? Doesn't matter. You're not playing them. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. You're not playing them, bro. They dang near could put DeGrom there. He'd probably take some DeGrom, but you know what I mean. You can do whatever. Yeah, there's a couple of ways to build a lineup tonight. All right, the first thing I'm like slightly interested in is gonna be Max Meyer's strikeouts. So just to remind ourselves on Max Meyer, even though he's been getting Shelly-welled lately. Stuff plus. Let's go game log. Let's go game log, stuff plus, and swing and strike rate. Athletics sucked. Seattle strikes out a lot, but they're a good team. And Cincy had a 24% swing and strike rate. I think that would have been the 10 strikeout game. And then 14.4% against the White Sox. And then we go to stuff plus. Holy crap, this stuff plus sucked. Oh, that hurts. That stings a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it stings a little bit. We'll leave it there for now. That Baez walk-off, yeah. The freaking Carlos Narvaez reaction was hilarious. Sail and crochet. I don't really want to dabble here. Are we just gonna chalk donkey our way into stacking D-backs and Dodgers for a Flex Friday? I'm trying to be smart here and overthink it, but it's rough, man. It's rough out here. Are you talking about the Dodgers lineup, Trey? You like everybody in it, or the Tigers, not Dodgers, Jesus. Against Francis, does allow some power, low strikeout. I'd probably throw something on Kerry Carpenter. He's been good. Let me get to carry on my wayward son. 8 fantasy points feels a little bullish. What can you get him for? Hits plus runs plus RBIs. You'd have to go to 3.5. Chalk money spends the same as Galaxy Brain. Dude, some of those lines, like Ohtani's been at like 10 fantasy points and he's just like smashing it, bro. It's so stupid. What's bomb detector telling us? Ohtani's number 1 by a mile. Shocker. I don't know. Do you guys want to chalk donkey into Ohtani fantasy points? It's Jack who just can't get lefties out. And what are we thinking on this Meyer strikeout? 5.5. Where's the juice at for the books? It's more than 118 on the over. We're getting a good deal, yeah. It's not. It's coin flippy at 5.5. I think his recency, his recent stuff's just ugh. Witt Jr. Ooh, I forgot about Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's he's got a good matchup. So Payante, even though he's the extreme ground ball hitter, he does allow a decent average to righties, a decent power, and decent walk. And Bobby Witt batting second, crazy average, crazy everything. So if we get that under, we probably have to pay 8.5 for that, though, right? What do y'all think? 9.5. Fudge. I don't know about that one. Stolen base. I'm not doing stolen base prop on a Flex Friday, bro. On the flex, the goal right here is to find 6 likely to hit. We're gonna put 20 bucks on it since it's a free 20. But I want to feel good about each click, and stolen base props are just so variable. Chad Patrick strikeouts. I don't love it because he's not a strikeout guy. I like the thought of him like maybe going deep enough against this lineup to where maybe we could justify fantasy points. But it's hard to bank on the Brewers to get him a win to bail him out. But so PrizePicks has the same scoring as Fanduel, and we got Patrick at 24 fantasy points, and they got him at 25.5. So I don't feel like I'm getting a good deal there. We could dip into the live and bet some first pitch pitches thrown, but man, that's a sweat. So McGill 15.5 that's pretty low because this Yankees team's likely to be pretty patient, and Miguel is fishing for strikeouts, and he also like walks quite a bit, and he's facing, I mean, everybody in the top 3 has a 10+% walk rate. So I kind of like the thought of Miguel over 15.5 pitches first inning. We want to really get cute here. You can get a Detroit LAD 5-2-3 with virtually whatever you want pitching. Yeah. Ohtani, Abrams, Butler. Oh, for stolen bases. Two bases and stolen props for it, dude. I tried to do a stolen base prop sheet the other day, man. It's just like, I didn't post it, I just experimented it. I think I got 1 out of 6. It's just like, you have to, like, Ohtani and Corbin Carroll, for instance, they'll steal bases like crazy, but they have to like not hit a homer or a double. So you just need them to hit a single or get walked, or for the scoreboard to not be ±9 in the third, which tonight may not be. I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking McGill over 15.5 pitches first inning. What do you guys think? It kind of makes a lot of sense. 3 patient hitters. 4 of the first 5 have crazy walk rates, and even if they get it to Goldie and his strikeout rate, he's gonna see pitches. Is there a way to conveniently track pitch counts per inning in like a game log form? I'm looking. Oh, yeah, I'm liking the Miguel 15.5. I just hate when my own team lets me down, and if it's the first game of the night, I just feel like I'm dead out the water, and it's just a 1 inning. Oh, but I like the click. I do. Let me simmer on that. Butler. Lawrence Butler? I can't think of any other Butlers. It's gotta be Lawrence, yeah. Alright, where were we on not feeling warm and fuzzy on anything? We're thinking about Bobby Witt. Thinking about it. I wish he had a lower fantasy prop. Feeling home should be I mean, it is kind of a boost in fantasy because you get the run. I would say if you steal home though, I mean, I don't know. You can't technically give it an RBI because it's not batted, but it does feel like you earned it a little bit more than normal. Butler with the Lawrence Butler. Remember Billy Butler? That was a dude. So I'm kind of thinking Ketel Marte something. And Ketel Marte might lead off since it is a lefty. Or probably will lead off. What can we get on him? Actually, we got to get in the right. Seven and a half. I'm doing some handcuff work here. Or 2 hits, runs at RBI. So if he gets on and Corbin, we'll take the fantasy points because he can still, dude. I might get into some Corbin too. Corbin's just so good. Lindor seems okay for DFS. Oh, Francisco, yeah. I'm just in a weird spot where I really don't want to sweat that game. Can't take Mookie and Bobby Witt on DK. It's a tough choice. Yeah, I mean, ownership aside, Mookie, but ownership considered, Bobby. Like, meaning Bobby's going to be way less owned, more than likely, since Mookie's attached to a blowout. Did we just be talk donkeys here? Am I really trying to reinvent the wheel? Do we just go like the top 3 of Dodgers and D-backs? Do we add Mookie? Or Freddie? We can go Freddie. 5? Oh, dude, I thought that was... Bro, they almost got me, bro. Freddie Furman. Bro, they almost got me, bro. I was like, 5? Dude. Oh, man. They almost got me. That's what you're doing, Mike. So... a ton. So if we went... Dude, technically we could just do... I like Meyer, don't get me wrong, I do. But we could just make ourselves at the Dodger D-back chalk donkeys tonight. And do we love Lourdes Gurriel, or do we just like Lourdes Gurriel? No, he smashes lefties, bro. Lourdes. He's only 5.5 though. That feels like the lock. Hello. All right, so if we went 3 and 3, we're taking top 3 Dodgers, top 3 D-backs, instead of pinching. Dude, that's ridiculous. It's only 280. Do we not get like the same steam? I swear I had like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only 14x. Dude, I swear. Are we getting charged? Dude, it's not 1-to-1 on these props, dude. I was hoping we would get that 25. That's annoying. So basically, just out of curiosity here, it was 14x for a 3-man Dodgers, 3-man D-backs. Stars is cleanup. Oh, but like if we just clicked randoms that are not D-backs and Dodgers for $20, that's 17x. Let's see. I wish they would actually show what's being charged, dude. F it, did. Whatever. It's a free 20. Two of the most historically lopsided May games. This feels so lazy, dude. It feels so lazy. Need them goblins. They goblin up all the profit. All right, I don't know. You guys want to do it? I don't feel like we're very surgical dicing this one up, but essentially we lazily took the top 3 projected D-backs and the top 3 projected Dodgers. Both teams have a 6+ run total. Home favorites, we got the roof open in Chase. LA is it's 65 degrees, but they get Kochanowicz and the worst bullpen. F it, dude. Let's send it. F it, dude. So this is the Flex Friday. So if you guys want to do it, make sure you opt in your promotions tab, and then you check it when you click it, and then we'll just be hee-haw chalk donkeys tonight. All right. All right, and you said we got to make a Marlins change. And that's going to be Jesus Sanchez batting leadoff. I need to go grab me a burger car wash and then come back and get ready to crunch for a lot. So you take out Edwards, creates a better lineup, I guess, for Taj Bradley. We'll take out the Marlins substack. All right, that'll do it. Hey, tomorrow. So we've been doing streams every day lately, except Thursday and Sunday. Tomorrow gonna be more of the same. Yeah, it looks like we can go live tomorrow again around 1:15 Central, so 2:15 Eastern. And the same thing, we'll break it down. We'll have some fun. Otherwise, I'll be around in Discord. I'm gonna go grab me some lunch real quick. But I'll bring it back home and eat while we're dissecting. So if you guys want to come hang out, MLBgrind.com. Twitter.com/Gundacker, man. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a safe Friday night. It's getting hot out there. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.